We are now on tutorial 4-3 on the top of page 152, and this assumes that you have done the Your Turn part at the bottom of page 151 and created this map. We are no longer in ArcCatalog, we're now in ArcMap, and we have added the cities layer. It's hollow, and I've got a 2-point black border. The tracks layer is also hollow, and it has a 1-point blue border. And on the cities, I made labels visible. I think the field was called name 10. And also, even though he didn't do this in the book, I put a halo around him. Otherwise, you can't read Phoenix or Chandler because of all the blue lines. So your map should look something like this now when you start on the top of page 152. And what we want to do is we want to look at the data that is behind the tracks table here. And here's the data. And we're looking for state FP10 column, which is this one right here, and we're going to delete it. And we want to delete county FP10, tract CE, name 10. I'm holding the control key down here, do a multiple selection. Name LSAD 10, MTFCC 10, and FuncStat 10, and then right click and we will delete all of them at once. Okay. And we've also got some fields to delete from, well, we can close this now, from the cities layer. This is under Your Turn, and I'll let you do that on your own. Okay, it looks like I blew it here. This application does not let you do multiple column deletions. You got to do them one at a time, which is a real pain. So we're going to right click and we're going to delete county FP10. We're going to delete tract CE10, delete. We're going to delete name 10. Okay, and that's what we're left with. So now we're good, and I'm assuming you've already deleted the stuff described in Your Turn at the bottom of page 152, and now we're at the top of page 153. And okay, it says to right-click census tract data, and it looks like that's a file name, but we don't have one, but we do have something called tracks. And we also have something called census data. I'm going to try this one. I didn't see anything where they told us to rename that. So we're going to open that up. And we want to go to the GeoID2 column, and we want to sort ascending. And our first value should be 40, 130, 10, 10, 1. 40, 130, 10, 10, 1. Okay. And close the census tract data. And since they're calling that census tract data, I'm going to, let me see, I can't rename it here. But if I click on it a second time, I can. Okay, and then it wants us to open the tracts attribute table. So let's go to its attribute table and sort on GeoID 10 in ascending order. And it looks like we got the same thing there, except we have a leading 0 here. And here's something you kind of need to pay attention to. If I widen these fields a little bit, it makes it more obvious. But some of the data is left aligned and some of the data is right aligned, and it's just like it is in Excel. If it's left aligned, it's text even though it looks like numbers. So this is considered a text field. So is this column, and so is this column. The ones that are right aligned are numeric fields. And even though the values may look the same, if you have a value that's a text field and another value in another table, it's a numeric field that has the same data, you're going to have some problems trying to match them up. They have to be the same data type. So in the tracks table, we want to go to the table options arrow and click add field. So I'm going to create a new field over there, and the name of it's going to be GeoID10 NUM, and the type is going to be double, and click on OK. So we got a new column over there, and right click at the top of the column and choose Field Calculator and click Yeah, and in the field panel double click GeoID10, and so the name of our new field here is GeoID10num, and what we're doing here is we're telling it what to set GeoID10num equal to, and we're saying set it equal to GeoID10, which is this value over here, which happens to be a text or a string data, and click on OK. And now it's crunching the numbers, and this number here is the same as this, but what this is it's a numeric field, this is a text field, and by assigning this value to this field, it converted it from a text value into a number value for us. And you can see everything over here is right aligned, telling us that we've got a number field over here. So we want to close the tracks table and open the census tract data table, which is this one, basically our spreadsheet. And now we're at the bottom of page 153, item number 1. In the census tract data table, click the table options arrow and click add field. And in the add field window, we need to give a name for a field, and it's going to be R for ratio, NAT, WHT. And the names don't really have to be that short. I'm not sure why they make them that short, but it stands for ratio of Native American per capita income to white per capita income. And you're supposed to remember that from those 7 letters. And we want the type to be float. It's going to be a ratio. And in the census tract table, click the table and click select by, and click on OK here. Okay, now go and select by attributes. Okay. And what I want is I want to find the white per capita income field and double click on it. We're going to build a little rule here for selecting records, and the first part of the rule we don't have any choice about. It's saying select everything from the census data table where the white per capita income is greater than 0, and you can either type greater than 0, you can go up here and click on that and then type in, click on unique values, and then 0 comes up for some of them, and click apply here, and you see it's selecting 908 out of 913. And if I go to the white per capita income table here, let's just verify this. There should be 5 rows at the top here that are not selected by that rule. So we've applied that rule, and now we want to close it. And I went one step too far. So let's right click on this. Let's open it up again. And we've got to go here, and now what we've got to do is we've got to calculate the value in this field. Click on OK, and what I want is a rule for what the ratio of Native American to white is, and it is going to be, if it's Native American first, then it's going to be this one divided by this one. Okay, and click on OK. And it did not try to do these because we didn't have these selected, and so what we're left with there is a null value, which means a missing value. Otherwise, we've got an error here when we tried to divide by 0 over here. And we can stop here, and what you need to do under your turn is you need to basically repeat what we've done, create a new column that has the ratio of Hispanic to white, and again, you need to make sure that you only select the white values are greater than 0, otherwise you'll be dividing by 0. So go ahead and do that on your own, and then we'll go on with tutorial 4-4.